new video. For those of you that are new here, my name is Stefy and I am a lifestyle vlogger, vlogging all things life, such as reviews, hauls, weekend vlogs, hopefully one day travel vlogs, and yeah, for those of you who aren't new here, welcome back. Hope you're all doing well. So as the title says, this is my January favourites video. It is my first ever favourites video. I've always wanted to kind of do these, but I've always thought about doing it either midway through the year or something like that. And I am one of these people that I like to do things in an orderly fashion, keep on the straight and narrow path as such. So if I thought of doing this in May, I would think, no, I have to wait till January to start from the beginning as such. But I'm trying to get out of that mindset, because, you know, if you wait for things like that, it will never get done, or you just, yeah. But yes, this is my first one, Be Kind. And yeah, this is basically everything that I have been or loved in January. So the first thing I'm going to start with is an app. I am rather obsessed with this app. I find it very calming, it's a good distraction, and it's just one of those things that kind of relaxes me when I'm just kind of need something like that. And it's basically the app called Happy Colour. So I'll just open it up for you. So that's it there, and basically it's just a colour by number app. So it's a colouring app, and I just love it because I just get really sucked into it. Like, I can do loads at once, but it keeps me quiet, it keeps me happy, and yeah, I just love doing it. So you can see this is the picture. They do daily ones, so this is the daily one for today, and you've got all the colours along the bottom. Whoops, it's a bit hard doing it this way. So this one has 51 colours to colour it on, and I mean it's like colour by numbers. You know, you pick number one, or you pick, let's try to do this right, so you pick the number, and it should basically put everything that you need to colour in grey. So I'm going to try and do this like this. But yeah, it's got hundreds and hundreds of pictures to colour on there, and I have barely touched the surface, but I am enjoying it. And I like to, because it's got a lot of ads on it, you can pay to have no ads on it if you want, which is only a £5, and I should probably do it because I play it so much. But what I tend to do is I like to play it when I'm travelling as well. So if we're going on the plane, whatever that's like now. But yeah, when we're travelling, I tend to just kind of save a few that I start to colour in, and then I stop, and then it goes into a little, where is it? So you go to my feed, and it shows you ones that are in progress, which I'm quite shocked that there are still some that are in progress. There should only be one really, or two, and then it shows you're completed as well, so you can see all of them. But yeah, in progress I tend to save a lot on here, and then I don't have to worry about needing the internet and such for playing it, because it does need data to play for some reason. So yeah, I tend to save it, and then I've got lots of stuff to colour. I'll leave a link to it below if I can, if anyone's interested. Otherwise, just search Happy Colour. Next up, I'm going to start with a book, and I've been reading this throughout January, sort of on and off, but I absolutely love it. I got it for Christmas, and it is Fire Cannot Kill a Dragon by James Hibberd. And it's based, well, it is a book about Game of Thrones. It's the official untold story of the epic series, so it's not a story fiction or anything like that. It's basically this guy James, who was a reporter, and basically he, since the pilot came out for Game of Thrones. He was on it, he saw some potential, he thought this is going to be fantastic, and he basically stayed on it and managed to get onto the set to basically see what was going on, take interviews, things like that. Some of them you've got quotes from previous interviews from things like Rolling Stone, stuff like that, but then there are interviews that he took that are only in this book. They've never been read before anywhere else, and it's really interesting because you sort of, everyone loves a bit of behind the scenes, so you get to read about behind the scenes, what went on, how they did this and that, but it's not specifically that. Like some of the quotes from the actors and things are pretty good as well. And then also you've got the writers and the HBO producers and the execs, directors, things like that. But I think one thing that stuck out for me was that this show came after shows like The Sopranos, 6 Feet Under, and it was very similar to, not sort of similar in concept, I don't know, to a show called Rome, which I actually watched. It only had 2 seasons because they cancelled it after the 2nd season, but it's almost on that grandeur level with Rome, and I think Rome was quite expensive to make, so when this came about for HBO they were wary, they were cautious, and yeah, they threw some money at it, and I think this is one of the shows, or one of the HBO shows, where they've thrown so much money at it and it's never been done before, and HBO took a huge gamble, and as we all know, it paid off. But yeah, it's just brilliant, and it's the chapters, it goes from season 1 all the way up to the last season. I haven't actually finished it, but I'm almost there. But it also has pictures in it as well. Let's see. So you'll see some from the first episode. So that's when the Rangers are going beyond the wall in the first episode. And we've got the Starks and the Direwolf puppies. And yeah, I would highly recommend this book. It's been really interesting, and I'm sorry I can't say any more things that I've read about it because I don't really retain much as much as I used to, but there are certain things that stick out, like I think it was like 10 million for one pilot episode that they were given, which was again a bit unheard of. Was it 10 million for an episode or 10 million for a season? Again, one of those. But yeah, I would definitely recommend reading this. Good book. Next I'm going to do some TV shows, and the first one that I have been watching a lot in January is, of course, Game of Thrones. So I got the Blu-ray set for Christmas, and my other half David set me up with a Blu-ray player in the bedroom, and basically I've just been rewatching the show because it is my favourite show. I love it so much, and I'm so sad that, you know, they're not going to do any more, but I am excited for the I can't remember the name of it now, but it's the Targaryen prequel show, which is going to be good because I am a Targaryen. That is my favourite house, and yes, Targaryen is me. But yeah, I've been loving rewatching this again. This will be my 3rd rewatch, which again I'm watching it slowly. I'm not really going fully through it. I'm up to season, almost I think to the end of season 4 I think, but I love it, and I'm rewatching it a 3rd time around. Again, you appreciate certain things and you notice things a bit more. Like for me, Jamie Lannister's character stood out for me quite more, especially when in the scene where they are, him and Brienne are in the bath, or the baths, and he's giving his speech about why he is called the Kingslayer, and you know, what he had to do, and the passion in that scene, and you really feel for him, and I think for me that was the turning point for Jamie's character, and turning point for a lot of people that started to really like him as a character, because the first episode or season 1, yeah, no. But for those who haven't seen Game of Thrones, it is a fantasy series about these houses in the 7 kingdoms, and basically one event sets off everything for this entire series, basically to win the throne, and it is a Game of Thrones. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's a fantastic show, and if you have seen it, rewatch it again because it's so good. The next show that I have been loving is another rewatch called Schitts with Daniel Levy, Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara, etc. I watched it during the first lockdown in 2020 and absolutely loved it. And my other half, Dave, he started watching it, and he messaged me about the first episode, or he was watching halfway through the first episode and said something, and I was like, no, you have to wait because I want to watch it with you, because I'd already been thinking about rewatching it, and I did say to him he needs to watch it, so we started watching that together, and it is such a good show. I can't really tell you why I love it. I think it's because it's a very sarcastic humour, which is my kind of humour, and David, the son, he is my favourite character, and then Alexis, then Moira, then Johnny. That's the whole family, that's the Rose family, and David is just so funny, and his reactions and the way he reacts to things, I kind of think, yeah, that's kind of like me. It's like, what? Or excuse me. Yeah, it's just, he's a funny character. And then Alexis, I remember when first watching it round, I wasn't that keen on Alexis, but then she grows on you after a couple of seasons. This second watch around, I've been loving Moira. Moira is so good. The first time watching it, I wasn't that keen on her. She kind of annoyed me. But on the second watch, yeah, she's just a legend. The way she comes out with things and how she articulates, pronounces things, and the not controversial, but the I guess the memeable bebe or bebe. She says baby like bebe. But yeah, I would definitely recommend watching Schitt's Creek. It is basically about this family. They are millionaires, and they lose everything like that because their financial advisor basically ran off and took all their money with him. So they're saving, so basically the government come and seize everything, seize pretty much everything that they own, all their money, etc. And their saving grace is this town called Schitt's Creek, which Johnny, the dad, bought as a joke for his son David. And yeah, they all moved to this town, basically trying their best to get out of it, to get back to the life that they had. And it just follows them and their adventures from there, and it's so funny. I would highly recommend watching it if you haven't already. Right, next is an item of clothing or loungewear. I have been living in this all January and probably for the rest of the cold months of the year. And it is my dressing gown. Oh, I love it so much. So it's this hooded bear dressing gown. It's so fluffy and so warm. It's very insulated, and I love it so much. It's so soft, it's so warm, and yeah, you just feel so cozy in it. I got it from Peacocks. They don't sell this particular one anymore, but I think they have something similar. and it was like £16, so it was a bargain. But yeah, I've been living in this, and I don't normally do dressing gowns. I'm more of a jumper, trousers kind of person, and then I just have my blanket on the sofa which I snuggle into. But this, I just, yeah, it is like wearing a blanket, and it's just so nice and so cozy, and I love it. The last thing that I have been loving this month, or in January, is I have started a new project, which basically involves crafting. I can't say too much at the moment because I'm still in planning phase and prototype phase, I guess, but I can show you one thing. It does involve this beautiful rose, and it's just I've been having a really good time coming up with ideas, planning, and then actually making something, because I'm one of those people that I can come up with great ideas, designs, things like that, but then I never actually followed through and do any of those designs or make anything or create anything, because it's just always been a pipe dream, or I don't know, or just laziness, I guess. But I've started to craft and I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's been quite therapeutic as well for some of the things that I've been making. Not therapeutic, but I've just been doing it, and it's been quite, you know, you get into the zone. And yeah, I'm hoping that I can start revealing things soon, but it won't be that soon, unfortunately, because I have to wait for things to fall into place and such. But I promise you, it will be good, I hope, when I do reveal. But yeah, it's just been great to kind of do something that's not watching TV, because let's face it, at the moment with this lockdown, there's not much you can do. So it's been nice to actually do something with my hands, be creative, and yeah. So that is it for my January favourites. I have to apologise if I've been a bit too quick or too nervous. I find it hard to film sit down videos sometimes, because I feel more nervous than when I'm actually doing weekend vlogs or anything like that. It's weird. But I hope it hasn't been too painful to watch for you. But yes, thank you very much for watching. I'd love to know what your favourites have been for the month of January. Have you watched any of the favourites I've told you about? Have you read the book that I told you about? I'd love to get a conversation going. But yes, that's going to be it for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please do, because I am hoping to bring out a lot more content that I can. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Bye.